Hi, it's Catherine McGinnis from Soaping101. I'm pleased to partner with the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild to bring you a video on rebatching soap. There are several reasons why you may want to rebatch your soap. For example, maybe you mismeasured an oil. Not to worry, you can easily rebatch and add the amount you forgot. Same holds true if you forgot an ingredient or a fragrance. Soap seizing or thickening before you're able to pour it into the mold is easily remedied by rebatching. Really, nearly any problem soap can be fixed. So let's see how it's done. The first consideration is color. Here I have soap ends in various shades. If I added them all together in one rebatch, per our color wheel, we would get a brownish result. To keep your soap colors bright, separate out scraps into similar shades. In order to get the soap to the optimal size to melt, it must either be shredded or cut into very tiny pieces. This is easily done using a box grater or a knife. And to save on a little elbow grease, a salad shooter is a great tool to have in your arsenal if you plan to rebatch a lot. Here is where we can determine the water content of our soap shavings. Are they very dry and brittle, or do they hold together when squeezed like mine do? The drier they are, the more liquid you will need, whereas the softer scraps, which have not finished curing, will hold more water and will require less liquid to melt. We'll finish shredding all the bars that we want to rebatch, and then we'll weigh that. Mine is 32 ounces. I've added the soap to a stainless steel pot because I'm going to heat it using a hot plate. But you can also use a crock pot, an oven, or even a microwave. Let's include some additives that help in our rebatch process. Sodium lactate at up to 3% will help in the fluidity of the soap. Next we'll include a superfat. I'm using cocoa butter, but the choice of oil and the amount is up to you. Because our soap already has gone through the saponification process, there is no lye to react with any oil added. Therefore, we know that it is indeed a precise amount of superfat. Next is the liquid. Water, milks, nearly any liquid will do. Keep in mind that you can always add more throughout the melting process, so err on the side of less at the start. I have measured out 8 ounces, but I'm only adding 4 ounces right now, and that's 12.5% of the weight of my soap shreds. Give the shreds and liquids a stir around. Cover your pot to keep the steam from escaping, and we'll check back in 15 minutes. I can see that the soap on the bottom of the pot is beginning to melt, but not so much on top. We'll stir well and check back in another 15 minutes. We're almost there. The soap will begin to take on the consistency of a thick mashed potatoes, but there are still shreds that aren't melting. our soap can benefit from another ounce of liquid and more heat. We are now right where we want to be. The soap shreds are hydrated and have been completely blended with the additives. Now is the time to add any heat-sensitive items, like essential oil. And I also want to color my soap with mica that I have pre-mixed with water. Take your soap off the heat and mix as best as you can to get the soap colored throughout. Rebatch soap won't be pourable, but rather scoopable, so add it right away because it will cool quickly and begin to thicken up. Use your spatula to press the soap evenly into the mold, and then you can come back to texture the top if you wish. It may take overnight for your soap loaf to cool down. Once it does, it will be solid and ready to cut into bars. You can see that my soap is solid and the surface is smooth. However, there are some white speckle bits. These are just parts of the shreds that didn't get colored. A rebatch soap is usable immediately. However, it does benefit from a 2-week cure to allow the water to dissipate out and become a harder, longer lasting bar of soap. Enjoy your soap making journey and be sure to check out all the helpful videos in the HSCG how-to library.